is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis coming to you with a quick video. I wanted to let you guys know I got some new merchandise available, not just t-shirt anymore. I got different type of t-shirts, different type of shirts and logos that you can purchase on my spread shirt, and also hoodies now. We have expanded and added more to the channel and more merchandise for the brand. Thanks for supporting. It will be in the description and the links will be in the comment section below. Thanks for helping me and supporting the movement. Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis. I'm going to check out the video. Kemba Walker, the all-star starter, getting to that rim is easy for him this season. Creating space, getting that first step, and freezing his defenders that's bigger or less athletic or mobile than he is. He also loves to operate at the top of that key so you can see where the defense is at. And he allows to use and not use screens to get to the paint and create separation, gets an angle at the basket and finish. And you keep seeing it, his ability to split the defense and get all the way to the basket. But his finishing ability has improved since he's been in the NBA. And I'm glad that that happened because that was one of his weaknesses to me. He also has developed a step back jumper when he freezes the defender and forces them to pick their poison. Do they want him to drive or float, or do they want to give him space? And when they do, he flicks the ball up because the jump shot is quicker now and gets the ball in the basket. You also see it right here. He gets the screen, gets the first step, and forces Embiid and Amir Johnson and Ben Simmons to pick what do they want him to do, and they settle for the jumper. Luckily, he's able to make that consistently now, and that has become one of his favorite moves. And you will see it again. Freezes the defender, creates the space, gets a good look at the basket, and about time he closes out, is already up. And again, Embiid forces him to not drive, so he goes with the step back and knocks it down over a quicker mobile center, but not quick enough to stay in front of Kemba. And you see it again right here. He gets the screen to force Joel Embiid this time to give up the paint, and he ended up hitting the jumper because he rotated a little late. And here we go again at the top of the key. He gets the three ball going now, shooting 36% from three. That's where you want to shoot or higher. He's been able to turn himself into a decent mid-range and decent three-point shooter, and that's something that he had to do to prolong his career. But one of my favorite things about Kemba the last 2 years is that he's able to play off the ball, being able to play with guys like Malik Monk and Jeremy Lamb and even Nicholas Batum. His three-point shot has become respectable, but the fact that he's confident in it and he can knock it down consistently, even get hot like he did in this game and go for 60 sometimes, you know, that's something that he added to his game and it helped him evolve and become a better scorer and more versatile. And his playmaking ability has always been good, but look at this. Playing off the ball, gets a drive and kick, doesn't work, and he spots up and hits the three. The guy does it again, gives him the three, too much space, confident in that jumper now from the three-point land and knocks that down. And also at the top of the key, forces you to pick. He goes under what you want to do against Kemba, but he's so good at the three right now. When Kemba first got to the league, as a lot of my subscribers know, I was not the biggest fan of Kemba Walker, and he has actually proved what I was saying was right. He has said he had doubts about his NBA career. He doubted that he can be a starter. He doubted that he can really make it in this league, and so did I. I didn't say he was going to be a bust. I didn't say he was trash, but Kemba was so far away from being a polished product when he came into the league. He already came in undersized. Plus, he didn't have the weight. Plus, he didn't have the jump shot. He came in at such a huge disadvantage that I said that it's going to take him a long time to get to where he is right now. And even right now, he has a huge chance of improving even more. Even though he is getting older, I think Kemba can get even better than he is right now if he continues to put and have the work ethic that he has had for years. You don't get this far. You don't get to being an all-star starter without putting in the work. And he has been able to do that. And now he has become a multiple-time all-star and became a starter. So that just lets you know hard work pays off. You can do whatever you want if you put your mind to it. And he really wanted this career. He really wanted to prove himself. He really wanted to get better. And I have seen consistent improvement from him, and I have to give him full credit. I didn't think he wasn't going to make it, but I'm glad that he was able to look himself in the mirror and make the proper changes to his career and know that he have to get better. He can't just settle. He can't just be a guy that gets drafted with all the hype hype that he had coming into the draft and fail. He refused to do that by putting in the work, and I respect and like that because I had to do the same thing to get to this platform I'm in right now. I had to continue to go. I couldn't stop, and I had to continue to make great quality projects. And he does the same thing on the basketball court. So he earned a lot of respect from me. I told you guys a couple years ago he was streaky. He was a 20-point scorer, but it was because he took a high volume of shots. He really was jacking up a lot of shots a couple years ago, even though they did need him to do it, just to be honest. But when y'all asked me to make reviews about him, he was shooting 30% from the field, 38, 39, 36. That's basically not even really an NBA starting point guard level of play. And that's why I couldn't really jump on the Kemba bandwagon as other people did early, is because he was really struggling to create his own shot. He was really struggling finishing at the rim. He was struggling to hit a mid-range jumper because he came in the league with not a great jump shot. He couldn't even hit a three. He couldn't even hit a three not too long ago consistently. So, he came in as a 30% three-point shooter, and the highest he did in his first 5 years was really 37%, but that was his fifth year. So yeah. So he didn't really turn into a great 3-point shooter until 5 years into the NBA. And the year that he turned into a great 3-point shooter was the year that he averaged his career high 20 points a game, which is ironic that as soon as he found out how to shoot a little bit more, which I kept trying to tell you guys, he ended up finding more success and became an all-star in this league. And if you watch a lot of Kemba, like I showed you footage, and I've been watching every single game this year, one thing I definitely say about Kemba, he has really turned more into a jump shooter. He used to be a guy that wanted to get in between game. He wanted to get close to the basket when he came into the league. And now you see him relying more on his three ball, relying more on his mid range. Like I showed you, his game is really that. He still gets to the rim, he still gets to the paint, but it seems like he takes more jumpers than anything. Kemba Walker averaging a career high in field goals attempted this season, 20 field goals a game, which is ridiculous, especially considering that he still is only 6'1", 184, and he has such a good, heavy load on him to score and carry this team because they do lack talent. But I will say, like I said a couple months ago, Kemba Walker is one of those guys where this is the situation that he's in. And this is what he has to do if this team wants to win, because they don't have really that many players that you can really run offense through, or they don't really have great players that can create their own shot consistently. And that was one of Kemba's problems, and that's one problem he has. You have players that can play, you have players with multiple skill sets, but they can't give you 15 or 20 on a consistent basis. And that's why you see Kemba taking the high volume of shots that he is, because they need him to be aggressive. His aggressiveness opened up so much for his teammates because they have to respect him so much because he is a threat. And his ability to handle the ball allows him to probe. He can get to the mid range and hit the jumper, hit the floater, or even take it all the way to the rim by them having to close out for that mid range jumper. Now the fact that he has the 3-point shot, you have to respect him coming off the screen because he can always just kick it out to Malik Monk. Miles Bridges is a guy that's been hitting open threes off Kemba. Nicholas Batum gets a lot of assists off Kemba, getting off that screen. And that's one of the things that he mastered. And I always liked that about Chris Paul. Force them to pick their poison as much as they can. On offense, your job is to put the ball in the basket, whether it's three, mid-range, layup, or even free throw. Your job is to score on offense. And if I have to continue to put you in situations where you're uncomfortable, or put you in situations where I have to live with something that you're good at, which I showed you in this footage what Kimball is doing, that's amazing offense. If I can literally force you to make you do something you don't want to do or you don't want to give up, but you have to still give it up because I'm so good at this other area, that makes you significantly harder to guard. And that's what Kemba Walker brings to the table. And I have to give him a lot of love and respect for that, becoming what he is today. But they need those 20 shots because they really struggle to create offense outside of Kemba. And that's the saddest part about it. You would think that him being with this franchise for so long, that they eventually find him a good sidekick or somebody that can be better than him. But the best persons they had was Dwight Howard and Al Jefferson, and they had success. But at the same time, it wasn't prolonged or a great duo success. And that made Kemba have to carry more of the load because they don't have nobody to really help him out consistently in games. And even if you look at this roster, it's not really that good. And They still are technically in the playoff. Their record is below 500, but they're technically a playoff team. But nobody's really scared of this team, and nobody really feels like they're going to lose against this team because they are so predicated and dependent on Kemba Walker exploding and keeping the defense honest because they have to respect and guard him, and that puts a lot of pressure on their defense because they have to maintain and control him. And if they don't, a lot of these role players get easier shots, and if they do, Kemba struggles a little bit more, and his numbers have came back down to earth after his blitz and start because it's that hard for him to do it. But you have to give him credit that he's been able to shoulder this much of a load at his height and his size that they still been able to find ways to win games at a good enough level to make the playoffs. And when this season started, honestly and truthfully, I did not have the Hornets finishing in the playoffs because I thought this roster was so bad. I feel like they would be competing for a spot. I didn't think they wasn't gonna make it at all, but I thought that they was gonna compete for a playoff spot, and that's what they're doing right now. I don't think they're a lock for the playoffs, but even if they don't make it, they still gonna have to find somebody to go alongside Kimba, or unless he's gonna be gone. You know, you don't want to take this physical beating and really have to go all out your way just to be a first round exit. That just gets frustrating over a while, and that's why you think that a lot of people want Kimba to leave or ask for a trade because to see a guy literally work his ass off to get to the elite part that he is right now, and he still has a lot of room for improvement, but to see how hard he has to play and how much he has to do for a team that's not even above 500, it's just sad to see. And that's why I was really trying to help him by saying, you really do need to get out of Charlotte because you're not really doing anything. Every single year that you've been there, you either didn't make the playoffs or didn't make it far in the playoffs. So do you really want to waste another 3-4 years of trying to help Charlotte get to the playoffs just to get put out in the first round or not make it at all? That's the sad part about this season is seeing that he's putting in all his work, and he did get rewarded by becoming an All-Star starter. But a lot of people don't even have him on the All NBA team, which is going to, impact him too, because he could get more money. And on top of that, that's one of the things you want to be on to help get your ticket to the Hall of Fame, which he has not done yet. But Kimba has a lot more work to put in. As he is a 28-year-old and he'll be turning 29, he's still not the playmaker that he needs to be. I still think his decision making is really all predicated on him attacking. Because other than that, he's not the greatest passer. He's not the most willing passer. He can be highly tunnel vision. If his way doesn't work, he pass out of it or he takes a bad shot. And the fact that he still needs to work on his consistency. Kemba Walker is a guy that can light you up for 25 to 31 game and struggle really getting to that again in this game. And that is about his size and his speed and his jump shot. Still needs a little bit more tweaking and polishing, but I still have to give him credit when it's due. He has really impressed me these last 3 years of how much he has improved and how great he has become to the point where I have to give him credit when it's due. I can't hate him, can't really criticize him, can't really attack him because he's really getting the best out of his body and getting the best out of his talent. And for me to be looking at him right now as a 25-point scorer, legitimate 25 this whole season, that's something that I probably wouldn't sing when he came into the NBA because how far he was away from that when he first started. And like I said, he even doubted it himself to the point where he made it public. But at the same time, here we are today talking about how great Kemba has become because he continued to push himself and continue not to settle for less. And that has made him one of the most respected and liked players all around the NBA and in the fans' eyes, which we have seen so far. So can't really hate on Kemba. I still think his passing is not there. Still think he got a little tunnel vision. Still think that he needs more help. And we all feel like that. So we all feel for you, Kemba. But at the same time, don't stop. Don't settle. If you really want to be a Hall of Famer, you really want to consistently be an All-Star, you have to continue to put in that work that got you to this point to where you are one. But to get in the Hall of Fame, you got to do it more, which is funny, but he's still young enough to do it. So we'll see what happens with Kemba. I'm loving this game. I'm respecting him a lot, and I'm glad to see him continue to fight. Even though this season doesn't seem that good because they look like they're going to be a first-round exit, they still showing that they're going to go out there and give it they all and compete, and Kemba has been the heart and soul of that. and this team really needs him. He's the engine. He's the MVP. He's the heart of this team. You know, his attacking and his ability to force defense to be in tough situations, make their job a lot easier, and make them get easier shots. And it helps him out too, because the more they get off and the more easier they got to respect, the more allow him to get an easier 30, because now it opens up his ability to get better shots because they got to respect the teammates around him. So at the end of the day, I'm loving Kemba this year, and I'm happy for him being an all-star starter. I'm happy that a lot of people have been giving him a lot of credit and a lot of love, and that's why I had to make this video. His game has changed so much since he came into the league. It is basically totally different. Like, he plays nothing like he came into the league, but he still has a long way to go if he wants to crack that top 20. But until then, we'll see, can he do it? But I would definitely like to see him play with better NBA caliber players, and I would definitely like to see him play with another All-Star to see if they can make his job easier and balance out the offense a lot more and allow him to get easier baskets, but also have a guy that he can depend on if he doesn't have it going, and it actually makes his job even more easier because he has somebody that respects and forces double teams and traps, making him get easier baskets and making his teammates get even easier baskets, because now they got two people to worry about besides one person to worry about, which hasn't happened this year, and that's why they've been losing a lot of games, because they can't create offense consistently if Kemba is not the one that's initiating it, which is sad because he doesn't have nobody else to help him. So that's the whole point. Check out my website, analysisplayground.com, link in the description, comment section below. Check out my Facebook page, analysisplayground.com, link in the description, comment section below. Like on Facebook though to show support. Thanks for everybody that like on Facebook. Thanks for everybody that like the video. Thanks for everybody that comment, keeping the activity, keeping the love going, and being positive around the channel. If you're new to the channel, I do videos just like this when I break down games, tributes to the legends, summer league, NBA draft, preseason preview. Also do discussion videos. I do it all. And if you want to find out, binge watch some of my content, check out some playlists, and enjoy the channel. I love making these videos. You guys enjoy watching. That's why I continue to go. Quinn Wade, Basketball Analysis. I'm out. And let me know what you guys think about Kemba, the Charlotte Hornets. Should he stay? Should he leave? Can he be even better? Is this the highest that he can go? Or do you think he just need more help? And if he gets more help, it'll make his job a hell of a lot easier, which could be true, but where can he really go? That's a question for another day, but I'm going for right now.